Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and today we're going to be choosing some books to put in some little free libraries. I am just about to take my first little free library tour of the year. I think that we are going to go to Louisville, which is where we're from, and check out some little free libraries there. So you can look forward to that video coming. But one thing I need for that is I need some books to put in the little free library. And I also feel like I have some books on my shelves that I am not realistically going to either read again or read for the first time. So I thought for this video, what I would do is we would just go through those books together and I would show you the ones that I don't think that I want to keep and make some decisions maybe. And yeah, I think it sounds fun. Let me explain a little bit about my library philosophy. So my goal with my library is to have an entire shelf full of books that I love and would read again and cherish, all-time favorites. But that doesn't mean that's going to be my whole collection all the time. I primarily buy my books from thrift stores and my library store. Mostly my library store. I have a great library store here in Cincinnati. It's amazing. I buy most of my books there. They are all like a few dollars. And I don't feel bad if I don't keep them. I do like having them there so that when I do TBRs, I have physical books that I can read. But if I end up not liking them, they can go. And that is just fine. I can pass them on to somebody who's going to love them. I don't need to keep them in my life forever just because I read them once. And that's just kind of like, my philosophy. Donating some books, giving some books another chance for somebody else to love them, especially if I did not. I think it's going to be fun. I am looking forward to it. So the first thing we're going to do here is we are going to go to my shelves and I'm going to take you with me. And I'm just going to go through shelf by shelf and I'm going to pull some books that I don't know that I want to keep. And then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to talk through why it is that these books are maybe ones that I don't need to keep in my life. They're full-ish. They're not completely full. These are like, this is my unread shelf. So. Okay, so I am back here and I have many books. I have so many books. Oh, wait. I have a box. And I have some piles. And I'm already dropping them. So we're going to go through these one by one. And I'm going to talk through why I've decided not to keep these books. And some of them I might change my mind on. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and get started. First book here. This is going to be one that I have read before, and that is Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. This is a classic styled mystery. It's kind of a book within a book. You're reading the book, and then you're solving a murder outside the book. I liked the part in the book. I liked the first half. I thought it was great. Didn't really care for the second half, and I'm probably not continuing this series. This cover is, this book has seen better days, shall we say. It's had some damage, and I'm just not going to keep it. Probably not going to read the rest. I'm going to read some more by this author, though, because I did really, really enjoy the first part. Just didn't like the detective and the rest. So that one's going to go. We have Station Eternity by Moore Lafferty. This is a sci-fi mystery that I tried to read earlier this year and I DNF'd because I got to 50% and still wasn't really sure what the mystery was. So that was not working for me. I did really like her other book. So this one may just be a me thing. I, for whatever reason, did not get along with that one. And then we have Ghost Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. So I have not read this. I love To Kill a Mockingbird. It's one of my favorite classics. I just feel a little bit weird. I think about the fact that perhaps she may not have actually wanted this book to be published. And so I have not read it because I feel weird about that. And I don't know if I'm ever going to. So this is kind of in the maybe pile right now. So I'm gonna put it here. We're gonna think on that while we go through the rest of these books. We have My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. I have 2 copies of this. I haven't read it yet. Yes, I have 2 copies. I'm not proud of that, but I did end up buying the box set for the Neapolitan Quartet after I already had bought the first one. I had to get the first one again, so this one can go and somebody else can enjoy it. I think I got this one from a little free library, so not a big deal. Then we have The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I actually do enjoy this book, but I don't particularly enjoy this edition. And I don't know that I need to keep Neil Gaiman books. This is the only one I have. So it's going to a little free library. Somebody's going to enjoy that. I do think that's a great story. I have The House on Yeat Street. This is an ARC. It's a middle grade mystery story, kind of a little bit of a haunted house story where I think he's dared to spend the night in a haunted house. Yes. So that sounds cute and adorable. I don't read a lot of middle grade these days, and I know that if I put this in a little free library, they're definitely going to be some young people who are going to enjoy it much more than I think I would. Have Death Comes for the Archbishop by Willa Cather. This is a classic. I have enjoyed some other books by Willa Cather, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I'm never going to read this. It's never going to happen. I don't read a lot of classics anymore, every once in a while, but if I haven't read this one by now, I'm probably not going to start. I do like the cover. It's got a nice little painting that wraps all the way around. This is a book of the month book from like the 90s, so somebody's going to really enjoy that, but it's not going to be me. Okay, we have a couple of romances. I have very few romances on my shelves, and these are both Christmas mysteries, so somebody can get it started early. We have Tessa Bailey, Wreck the Halls. I got this from a little free library. Then I read it. It was super spicy, which is not like necessarily my thing. Decided I didn't need to read it. We have Meet Me in London by Georgia Toffolo. I did try to read this year. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not where I am right now. I feel like I've just not been in the mood for romances, and I think somebody else will really enjoy this book. Okay, then we have When Among Crows by Veronica Roth. This is a novella based on the Baba Yaga myth, and now that I'm talking about it, I am questioning whether I should keep it. This is an ARC, and it doesn't match all my other Tor.com novellas, but I did like the book. So the second book in the series is coming out soon, and I'm probably going to read it. So I feel like it's a maybe. We'll put it in the maybes. All right, we have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I read this really recently, and although I adore Babel, if you saw it on my shelf, you know that I own it and I love it and I will keep it forever. But I really did not, this one did not do it for me. I did not like the main character. It was so violent that it was, people say it's violent, but when they say that, you should listen because it's real violent. It just wasn't for me. But I am totally still a fan of the author. But this book, somebody's going to want that because that is a very popular book. I feel weird not having liked it. We have Lending a Paw. This is a cat mystery, a bookmobile cat. Cozy mystery. It was cute. I liked it, but I'm not going to reread it. So I'm going to let somebody else have this one. Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I don't need this anymore because I bought the special edition because the Six of Crows duology is one of my favorite duologies series of all time. So this copy has seen some stuff, and it can go into a little free library for somebody to read. It's still good. We have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Okay, guys. So I just DNF'd the new Emily Henry, Great Big Beautiful World, which everybody says is a lot like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I didn't like it. I didn't care about the backstory of the person that the main characters were interviewing in that book. And I know this is a very similar plot line. I've not really loved Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I want to. And I did try to start this once and then I immediately stopped, but I think it was just a bad month. I don't think it was the book. So I don't know. This is a maybe. We have The Daughters of Madurai. I bought this from the library store most certainly just because it has green edges and it's pretty. It's historical fiction, kind of women's fiction, I think. And I sincerely doubt that I'm ever going to read it, but it's so pretty that I'm still waffling on whether or not I should get rid of it. Let's see. We have The Stars Too Fondly by Emily Hamilton. I read this for my first book of the year this year. Really, really didn't like it. It's still my lowest rated book of 2025. It's a sci-fi romance that I think really wants to be Becky Chambers, but really is not. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's It was very underwhelming, let us say. So I'm going to give this to somebody else who at least can look at how beautiful this cover is. I picked this up at Book Outlet in an order and it just didn't work for me. What's over here? We have another arc. This is The American Daughters. This is historical fiction set in the American South. Looks like New Orleans. And I'm sure that it's good, but it's not probably going to move up to the top of my list anytime soon. And I don't think that it's fairly new release. I feel like somebody's going to want to read it. And if I'm not, really feeling like I want to read it soon, then I think I'm going to go ahead and let somebody else have it. Have A Strange and Stubborn Endurance. This is by Foz Meadows. And this is a fantasy romance, LGBT. I thought I was going to absolutely love it, but then I didn't. It had some things that happened in the very first chapters that were just not for me, shall we say, in a romance. And I'm not going to get any more specific than that because it's kind of spoilery. You can look up trigger warnings, and that'll give you an idea of why it is that I decided not to continue with this book. I think it has a really pretty cover though. And I'm sad I didn't like it, but did DNF that one. We have another duplicate copy. This is Middle Game by Shauna McGuire. I got the paperback and then I found the series in hardback at the library store, so I bought those instead. So I only have the first one to donate to someone. This book is actually in better condition than the hardback I have. Let me see, can I reach that? Yes. So the hardback I have back here is not in as nice condition as the paperback, but now I'm committed. Now I am committed and I'm just going to be keeping the hardback. So I will donate this to someone. Second book in the Poppy War, obviously not keeping that if I'm not reading the first book. We have Radiance by Catherine M. Valente. I think I've read one book by this author and I liked it well enough, but I don't think I meant to buy this book. I think that it got in my pile at the library store and I accidentally bought it. If you've been to a warehouse kind of book situation like that, you know how that happens. Anyway, it looks fine, but I don't see myself getting to it. It's a sci-fi. It says it's Deco Pulp sci-fi alternate history space opera mystery. That's a lot of stuff. Somebody's going to like that. I have The Christie Affair by Nina de Gramont. This is a historical fiction that I think is trying to tell the story of what happened to Agatha Christie in the period when she famously was not anywhere to be found. I love Agatha Christie. I'm probably not going to read this book, and it has a giant Reese's Book Club sticker on it, which just like makes me mad. But I'm not going to read this realistically anytime soon, so I don't need to keep it on my shelves. See, we have Burnham Wood by Eleanor Catton. This is literary fiction. I think it's got a little bit of a mystery to it. I honestly might keep this one. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for now because, I mean, I have heard good things about it. I just have been continuously not picking it up. But if you've read it and you want to convince me, there's still time. So let me know in the comments that I should read that one. Let's see, we have Shades of Milk and Honey by Mary Robinette Kowal. This is young adult, I think, kind of like Regency style fantasy with magic. I have read one book by this author. I read her, what was it? It's the one that was nominated for Hugo last year. It's the one that's kind of like a 1920s pastiche on a spaceship. I didn't love it. So I don't see myself getting to this one, but I could be convinced again, but it's gonna go in the pile for now. House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. This has like the coolest cover. Kind of creepy, terrifying. It's horror fantasy, I would say. I read it last year. I gave it like 3.5 stars. It's super weird, very young adult in a lot of ways. I think it's a good book, but I'm never going to reread it. This is a young adult, I believe, if I remember correctly. So I'm not going to keep that, even though I find the cover to be extremely striking. See, we have Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I DNF'd this book at about 25% because I absolutely hated the main character. And no one else in the book seemed like a real person to me. And I just didn't, I got spoiled on the ending. And then I was like, I don't need to read the rest of that. My partner, Sean, just read the whole thing and hated it. So I feel justified in getting it out of our house. So that one's a definite. That one's going. Let's see. We have the first book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So I like this series. I have nothing against this series, but I don't need to own this series because I don't see myself rereading it a lot. And even if I were going to own it, I would rather have the pretty British covers than the US ones, which I think are super generic. But I don't really feel like I need to own this series at all. So this one can go. See, we have a couple of nonfiction here. We have The In-Between. This says Unforgettable Encounters During Life's Final Moments. I won this in a giveaway from the library, so I feel kind of bad that I'm probably not going to read it. It's about a nurse who does hospice care, and I work in an adjacent industry to that, and I don't need to read about it when I'm at home. But like, I'm sure it's a good memoir. I'm sure it's really good, but I just thought it was going to depress me, so I decided not to read it. My other nonfiction I have in here is The Evangelicals. This is, it says, loving, living, and leaving the white evangelical church. I think I thought it was going to be more about the history of the evangelical church and less about her own personal story, but it was kind of not enough of either one. It wasn't my favorite. I love the idea of the subject matter, but it just didn't work for me. So I'm going to give that to somebody else. And I did get that from a little free library anyway. So back it goes. I have another little free library find. This is Ready or Not by Cara Bestone. So pretty. This is a romance novel about a woman who becomes unexpectedly pregnant and the guy that steps up to help her out. That's cute, right? That's sweet. I love that. But this book, I didn't feel like the characters felt like real people, so I DNF'd it, and I don't see myself going back to it. And if you can't tell, I have really not been in a romance headspace in quite some time. So this one was a no for me. So it's going to go. We're down to the last few books here. We have I Have Some Questions for You by Rebecca Mackay. I like this book. This is a story of a woman who returns to the fancy prep school she went to teach a course about podcasting. And she finds some things out about some things that happened when she was a student there. It's a thriller, kind of a literary thriller. I think it's quite good. But now that I've read it, I'm never going to read it again because it's a thriller and I know how it ended. So I don't need to keep it. That's why I don't own a lot of thrillers or mysteries. I'll reread a mystery sometimes, especially a cozy mystery, but I don't reread thrillers, so there's no real reason for me to keep these books on my shelves. We have The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker. I bought this at the thrift store because I thought that it was one of my favorites and that I had rated it 5 stars. And then I checked and I rated it like 2.5, 3 stars. So I don't know what book I was thinking about. This is a kind of a, everyone gets like a mysterious illness where they sleep and they can't wake up. Kind of similar to maybe Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King. I am sure it is fine, but I'm never going to read it again. So I think it can go. And then I have my last book in here. This is Deal with the Devil by Kit Rocha. I think it's military fantasy. It says Meet the Mercenary Librarians on the cover. So when I saw that at the library store, I picked it up because I was like, I want to meet some mercenary librarians. But it has like real bad reviews. So I'm not going to read it. I have so many new fantasies coming out all the time that I want to read that I am unlikely to read a book if it has kind of middling reviews. Maybe that's bad, but it's just not where I am right now. So that one's going to go. And that is it. Let's see how many books. How many books did we do? 31. So we got rid of 31 books on my shelf, and I am quite certain that I could find more if I needed to, but I don't need to right now. So 31 books, going to make room for more things to come in on my shelf for me to read. So I'm excited about that. I am going to plan to film my little free library blog either this weekend or next weekend. So look for that. If you have any comments on the books that I'm getting rid of, if you want to convince me that one of the ones I haven't read will be a winner for me, let me know. Leave me a comment because I could still be convinced. I'm easy. And with that, I hope that you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.